Last episode, Jack showed Ashi the evil of Aku, and this episode, Ashi hears of the good deeds performed by Samurai Jack as she tries to find the missing scruffy man. There were so many appearances of characters from the original series in this episode, and I'm sure there are already plenty of breakdowns out there of who Ashi stumbled across during her search. I'm glad the meetings were kept relatively short and sweet, as otherwise the episode would start to feel too much like a recap episode. I kinda wish Ashi's change of heart from last episode was extended and bled into this episode. I feel like the final confrontation could have been more poignant if the last time Jack was with Ashi she was still on the fence, but after having seen the world Jack helped cultivate with her own eyes, she puts her trust in him and saves him. But yeah, obviously that would require a revision of some events, and I already discussed my issues with Ashi's redemption in my review of the last episode, so I'll go ahead and move along. I'm curious how many of the featured characters will make returns. Will they join in the Scotsman's rebuilt army for the final showdown? Is Damongo going to have a fight, or is he simply a one-off joke? I really wanna know. Scaramouche is alive! I did not see that coming. I thought his robotic windpipe got crushed and mangled from the explosion that was his downfall, hence why he couldn't even put up a fight after that, but he seems fine and perky with his voice intact as just a head? Not entirely sure what's up with that. Not much to say about ol' Mushi in this episode. He provides some silly comic relief and drops a joke rich with shock value.
Whoa, what a freak! Looked like a talking penis.
While it's very immersion-breaking because classic Samurai Jack could not have crude jokes of that nature, Scaramouche was literally talking to the camera and breaking the fourth wall on multiple occasions already, so I thought it worked well. Since he took up a decent chunk of the episode, clearly he's going to eventually reach Aku and tell him about Jack's sword. I can't imagine what else he'd be used for at this point. Ashi's black suit was actually like a layer of soot or something, or some sort of charred substance that adheres to the skin. That's pretty freaky imagery, and I like this extra detail a lot, even if the mechanics behind it seem weird, but hey, it's a fantasy world, so they've got some fantasy soot material or whatever. I personally really dig it. Ashi, of course, casts off this final symbol of her attachment to the daughters of Aku and is reborn amidst the nature she finds wonder and joy in, and then gets a new super cute outfit. I'm personally a huge fan of Leaf Ashi, especially the rain version. And for those people who are still going around commenting on how Ashi is thick, I think the general gist of this tweet is very relevant toward you. The shadowy warrior ended up being not a hallucination, but a ghost! While symbolizing death in the Samurai Code of Honor, he's also a physical entity as well, or at least as physical as a ghost can be. He's called the Omen, and one of the comments on my theory video had a spot-on prediction. I can't find any specific kami that fits cleanly though, so the Omen is likely a mishmash of multiple aspects and design choices. And wow, is this guy skilled at hiding his figure while riding a horse. Seriously, I did a double take when he dismounted. I think the Omen's big mistake was trying to kill Ashi, since at that point, of course Jackie Boy is going to defend her and get his groove back. I'm really hoping the defeat of the Omen doesn't completely wipe away Jack's depression and mental struggles, since that would be terrible from a narrative standpoint. The Omen has always shown up after Jack was already a mental wreck. It was trying to push Jack's already festering feelings over the edge, but I don't think it was the cause of Jack's torment. As such, I expect Jack to still have a tough time keeping a positive outlook, even if the worst might now be behind him. At the end of the episode, Jack announces that it's time to get his sword back, and while this has me very excited, I also hope there's a very good reason why Jack didn't try to or gave up on retrieving his sword before. He lost his hope and was basically aimlessly wandering around at the start of the series, and his struggle would feel underwhelming unless there's a sensible reason why the sword remained out of his reach. Overall, I liked this episode more than the previous one, but I still love the first 4 episodes far more. I'm curious whether there's still going to be a heavy focus on the psychological aspects of characters, or whether we're mostly past that and moving on to preparation for the big showdown. Samurai Jack is still certainly keeping my interest no matter where it goes, though I do hope it maintains its original darker edge, and I'm eager to see the sword retrieval commence.